Hey guys, here's part 7 of He Tried to Do Me Wrong after I brought him to America. We left off at where I went to go meet with the bad guys and sat down with their boss. When he asked me what is the job I needed done, I told him I need that house down to ashes. He was like, ashes? He said, lady, we build brick houses here. They don't burn down to ashes, okay? So you're telling us you want to burn the house? I said, yes. I want to burn the house. He was like, well, the interior and the woodings, they hold the roof going to burn down, but the whole house ain't going down. I was like, that's fine. He was like, you know what? Take me to this location. Let me see the house. Okay. So we went to the location. He took pictures of the house. And then he was like, so how do you expect my boys to enter this house? I said, I got a code. They enter this house using a code. He was like, oh, okay. Send me the code. I texted it to him. And then he said, I need pictures of your husband and his woman who stay here so that when we see them coming out, we know it's them and we know the house is vacant. I was like, okay. I gave him that information too. We went back to his location and he's like, this is going to cost you $10,000. I was like, okay, but can I pay a percentage for it? He was like, you got to give us $8,000 because you can't do just 10% or 20% or half of it because, you're giving the rest after the job gets done. I said, that's okay. I said, so how much? He said, 8,000. I was like, okay. We did the transaction and everything. He said, so you want this done on the night they're having the baby shower? So it's going to be in the AM hours. I said, yes. He was like, okay, we got it covered. I left and came back to the U.S. because I had other plans. Fast forward, at this time when I was having the meeting with the bad guy boss, it was just like shy of 2 weeks, the baby shower. So fast forward, the baby shower comes, my informant is sending me pictures and videos because she's there present. And I'm getting emotionally overwhelmed, mentally overwhelmed. I'm just heartbroken. And she's sending me these things, but I asked for it and stuff like that. She's getting paid too for doing this for me. So at a certain point, the time difference, I told her I got to go to sleep. I went to sleep. At some time in the morning hour, I get a call from my informant. She's screaming on the phone. She's crying. I'm like, what is wrong? What's going on? What? She was like, oh my God, your husband's wife is in the hospital right now. I said, what do you mean? They were in an accident? She was like, no, she suffered second-degree burn. She's in the hospital. She's on life support. They don't know if they're going to save the child. I was like, what are you talking about? And then it dawned on me. I said, they were in an accident. She said, no, your husband took her home early because she was tired and he came back and we all partied till the end. But then, somebody from the neighborhood came running to the baby showers to tell him that his house was on fire. That's how they help her to get out, but she's in a bad condition right now. I was like, oh my God. And she's like, did you have something to do with this? Is this what you needed the bad guys to do? I was like, no. I wanted the bad guys to snatch my husband and treat him like a POW for some time, probably get some ransom or whatsoever. She was like, wow, this is getting crazy, but they don't know if they're going to be able to save the child. It's like, oh my God. I said, where's my husband? She's like, he's in there by her side right now, and he's just crying. She's like, did he call you? I was like, no. How is he gonna call me? I was like, so she got off the phone. She said, well, I gotta go back in there. She went back in there, and minutes later, I get a call from my husband, and he was like, he's breathing. He sounds, totally broken. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are you sounding like this? He was like, there was a fire. I was like, fire where? Are you okay? He was like, yes, I'm okay. I was like, so fire where? What's going on? Something wrong with your family? He was like, no, babe, not family. He said, maybe your God is fighting for you. Maybe your God has, abandoned me for what I'm doing to you. I was like, what are you doing to me? Akilo, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm married here in Kenya. I was like, what? You're what? He's like, I'm so sorry, babe. You got to pray to your God to forgive me. I was like, okay, you're married, and then what? Like, okay, what do you expect me to do? Like, you're telling me this is too much for me right now. He was like, my wife here. I was like, wow, your wife, what happened to her? He was like, she's in the hospital. She suffered second-degree burn. She's on life support. They don't know if they're gonna save the baby. I was like, baby, what baby? I was like, I said, when did you get married? So he's breaking it down to me. He's crying me. He's begging me for forgiveness. He want me to pray. He want God to save his child. He feel like this is karma. He telling me all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know what to do. He was like, please, baby, forgive me. Please pray. This is my child. I was like, wow, are you listening to yourself right now? Do you know you are the same person who been promising me that whatever you got going on with this lady, like, get off my phone right now. I don't want to talk to you. I hung up. I'll be back with part 8. In the meantime, please check out my showcase product, guys. On the top of my TikTok page, you will see the word showcase and a shopping bag next to it. If you click it and buy anything from my showcase product on my TikTok, I get a little commission. It's a way of supporting me. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next part.